Hey y'all. Today's objective is writing multi-step equations and inequalities. So we practiced writing simple equations in class one day last week. So now we are going to go into multi-step. So remember to do the opposite in the equation. So if you're reading a word problem and you know what to do to solve it, then when you write your equation, you're going to do the opposite in the equation. And equations use an equal sign, and inequalities use the four inequality symbols. And don't forget that you have to distribute and you have to combine like terms. So let's get started. Alright, so this is a lot of information, so pause it, copy the problem down. You need to copy the word problems down, so pause it, copy the word problems down, and then press play. In the cafeteria, it takes 1 hour to make 12 pizzas. We need 30 pizzas to feed our team. At least how long should they give themselves to cook? So write and solve. The words "at least" tell me that we're talking about an inequality. It doesn't say exactly, it says at least. So when you think about the words "at least," you have to pick a symbol. Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So we start with defining a variable. X is the time it takes to cook. So it says how long should they give themselves. So X. And then we need to write an equation. Well, let's look at what our answer is. Our answer is we need 30 pizzas. So we know we need 30. At least means greater than or equal to, because you want to make sure you have at least that amount of pizza, at least that amount of time. So the question, think about in real world. Think about, in order to win the game, you need at least more points. To not lose, you need at least the same number of points the other team has or more. So we're talking about greater than or equal to. Alright, so in the cafeteria it takes 1 hour to cook 12 pizzas. We need 30 pizzas to feed our team. At least how much should they give? So if you know what to do, 1 hour to cook 12 pizzas and we need 30 pizzas. So what would you do? Anybody know? Okay. We would need, it takes 12 pizzas in 1 hour and we need 30 pizzas. So we would have to, how long do we need? Well, 12 times 1 would give us 12 pizzas. 12 times 2 would give us, that's a 1, would give us 24 pizzas. 12 times 3 would give us 36 pizzas. So we know we need to multiply. So 12x, that's how long we need. 12 times the number of hours to get pizzas. If you were saying that you would divide, you'd say 30 pizzas divided by 12 would get your answer, then that means you would multiply in the problem. So this is your equation, and when we solve it, you would get x is greater than or equal to 30 over 12, which is 15 over 6, which is 5 over 2, so 2.5 hours. What does that mean? It means we need to give ourselves at least 2.5 hours to cook. Probably a little more, but at least 2.5 hours to cook. Alright, pause it to write it down. I ordered 4 CDs by mail. They each cost the same amount. So 4 CDs, they cost the same amount, and I paid $5 for shipping. If my total is $33, how much was each CD? Write and solve an equation. So we're going to define a variable. X is the price of each CD. What is my total? My total is $33. And this is an equation because it says, how much was each CD? Each CD was the same amount, so that's my X. How many CDs did I buy? I bought 4 CDs, so I know that's going to be 4x because they're each the same amount. And then I had to pay some money for shipping. For shipping, you only pay one time. You don't pay per CD. You just pay shipping one time at the end of your purchase. So you would put that in there, shipping. Here's your equation. To solve it, you would subtract 5 on both sides, minus 5, and you get 28. Then we would divide by 4, and X is going to be $7. That means each CD was $7. Now, of course, this didn't have anything to do about tax, and we didn't talk about that. Whoops. All right, so these, I think, are fun problems. Find 3 consecutive integers. The I stands for integer. That's the sum is 198. So 3 consecutive, you may have done some of this last year, but 3 consecutive integers means the first number is X, the second number is X plus 1, because that would be the next number, and then the third number is X plus 2. These would be the 3 consecutive integers. Once you set it up, you can add them together. So X would be 3X, 1 plus 2 is 3, and a total of 198. So then now we have a multi-step. So you would subtract 3 from both sides, and you get 3x equals 195. Then you would divide both sides by 3, and you would get what? 65, I think. 6 times 18, 31. All right, so 65. That means your first, I'm dropping my stuff everywhere. That means your first number is 65, your second number is 66, and your third number is 67. All right, let me show you another one. Find 3 consecutive even integers. That sum is under 32. Now again, we need 3 numbers, so we start with X. But instead of X plus 1, that would be the next number, but we want even. So we need to skip it. So it would be X plus 2, and then X plus 4. That would skip every other number. So again, we have 3 X's plus 6 equals 132. You subtract 6 on both sides, and you get 126. Divide by 3, and X equals 42. So that means this first number is 42, 44, and 46. All right, that's how you would do even, and you would do odd the same way, X plus 2, X plus 4. Not X plus 1, X plus 3, but X plus 2, X plus 4. All right, example 5. Find 2 consecutive even, and we're only looking for 2, so that the sum of the larger and twice the smaller is 62. So we're looking for 2 numbers. The first one is X, the second one is X plus 2. So that the sum, so we're adding, of the larger and twice the smaller. So here's the larger, and here's the smaller. Twice the smaller would be times 2, right? Twice the smaller. So if I have 2 X's right here and an X right here, that would be 3X plus 2 equals 62. I would subtract 2 from both sides, and I would get 3X equals 60, and X equals 20. So that means my 2 consecutive integers are 20 and 22. All right, so let's go over this one. Find 3 consecutive integers so that the sum of the smallest and 4 times the largest is 61. 3 consecutive integers. This one just does 3 consecutive integers, not even and not odd. So X, X plus 1, X plus 2. We're going to take the smallest and 4 times the largest. So we need to multiply this by 4. So then you'd have to distribute, and you would get 4X plus 8. All right, so if you didn't get that, 4 times the larger means 4 times this, so you would distribute. We're going to add it up. So I have my 1X here, and my 4X's here, so that would be 5X plus 8 right here equals 61. Notice, it doesn't say anything in here about the middle number. The middle number, we're not using it right now. I would subtract 8 from both sides. Whoops. 5x equals minus 8 is 53. This is not working. So the sum of the smallest and 4 times the largest is 61. Oh. Fine. 3 consecutive. Oh, my bad. 3 consecutive odd integers. Look. Odd integers. I apologize. So that means this is x plus 2, x plus 4. I'm sorry. So we take the smallest and 4 times the largest, which is going to be 4x plus 16. I apologize. And then we're going to get 5x plus 16 equals 61. I knew something wasn't right. Subtract 16 on both sides, and we get 5x equals 45, x equals 9. So that means my smallest number is 9, and then 9 plus 2 is 11, and 9 plus 4 is 13. Whew. I apologize. But again, even when you have odd integers, you still do plus 2 plus 4. And that's our last one. So I'm sorry, these are all over the place. Make sure you get your notes, and we'll practice in class.